Okay, today we are going to see construction equipment management in detail. Before going to the topic, let us see what is construction equipment management as an overview. Um, Construction equipment management is nothing but the process of tracking the equipment used in any particular project to enhance the speed in construction without any disturbance, so that the particular the job will be done at a particular time, so that the building or the things will be a handover to the client uh, by the given time. And why construction equipment management matters? The main purpose is to complete the project and handovering the finished project work to the client without any cost overruns. And further, it will lead to enhanced equipment life. Therefore, the same equipment can be used or utilized for various projects within minimal cost. And by proper managing the equipment, we can able to uh, improve the equipment usage, that is for various projects or various projects, and decreases the problems associated with the safety. Why? Because it is easy to operate familiar machines. Says, for example, if you're riding a bicycle for a period of 5 to 10 years, and suddenly you are suddenly, if you're instructed to ride a motorbike, is it possible for you? No, it's not possible. So it will leads to some problems. So similarly, in the construction site also, if some people is employed for running a particular machine for a particular time, then it is easy for them to operate the machine for the next project. So suddenly, if you are going to provide any new machinery to the particular fellow, he or she may not be able to do the job at the proper manner, so that it will leads to lot of problem that has to be avoided, and reduces unplanned costs. So common machines such as JCBs, which has multifunctionalities, such as it can able to excavate the soil for the building foundation, and at the same time it can be employed for lifting the heavy weights from the ground floor to the first floor, so that two operation can be done in one particular machine. So the cost involved for that also reduced, and avoid cost overruns. This will leads to avoid cost overruns. Says, for example, if you hire 2 or 3 more machineries for doing various activities, then automatically the cost or rent for the particular machines will be higher. Whereas if you're using one particular machine such as JCB for doing all those activities, so your cost will not be increased. So it will be within your uh, project. And next thing is reduces injuries. As I said earlier, if for a particular period of time, if the laborers are equipped with one machinery, as a sudden, if you ask them to use a new set of machineries, means it will be difficult for them to support. So support the machinery for the particular project. So for that, you need to provide a proper time for gaining knowledge regarding that machinery is very much important, or else it will leads to accidents in the construction site. Therefore, equipment management is crucial in construction projects, and more care has to be given, or else it will leads to unpredictable things such as accidents. Next, tips for better construction equipment management. For this, we have 9 tips. First one is creates rules and guidelines. So proper communication should be provided among the laborers involved for the construction activity regarding the materials as well as machines in the particular job site. And the proper guidelines has to be strictly followed as per the company's regulation as well as the local government bodies regulation. Okay. And next, second is storage of equipment. Says, for example, if you're doing concreting today afternoon using a mixer drum, and you thought of doing another set of concreting tomorrow, and you allowing the machine to stand at the open sky, and unfortunately if there is sudden rain, then the rainwater will enters inside the machine and tends to collapse the motor and other some electrical wires, so which leads to additional cost for the project. So for that you have to put some money for getting machine to be rent for the next set of activities. So it will delays the construction time, as well as it really leads to increase in cost of construction also. That also has to be avoided. Then keep on top of maintenance. Next, followed by the storage, we have to look on the maintenance. Regular maintenance has to be done for all the equipments to prevent damage and keep functioning. As per manufacturer guidelines, the equipment should go for regular checkups to make the work environment continuously engaged. And fourth comes the communication plan. As I said earlier, all the information regarding the working environment has to be communicated to all the laborers present at particular site to eliminate accidents and unwanted things. And fifth one is monitoring of equipments. Monitoring of equipments in the construction field is also very much important for efficient as well as effective work practices. Then keep equipment limitations. So equipment should not be used beyond their capabilities. If the manufacturer says the machine has the capacity to run for 10 hours, then you should not run the machine for additional 2 to 3 hours, says for example 12 or more than 12 hours. If you are doing such things, then automatically the machine will be heated up, overheated, and leads to melting of wire and other short circuiting things will be happening, and which leads to a lot of complications during the construction work. So this has to be avoided. And the seventh point is monitoring the equipment utilizations. It's important to monitor how oftenly workers use equipments, as well as overuse of machineries should be avoided. So if such things are happening, if overusing of machines is going on, then automatically it will leads to increased maintenance. And in some cases, it will leads to replacement of some parts in the particular machine. So that the cost involved for that will also be quite higher. So this also has to be avoided. Then the last thing is ensuring all the laborers who had a proper training or not. Workers need to know how to operate the machine safely, and for that purpose we can use classroom style teaching, then hands-on demonstration, and one-to-one training for effective as well as efficient operation of the machine in the construction site. And next comes the construction equipment maintenance and inspection. As I said earlier, for proper running of a construction project, equipment plays a major role. Says, for example, if you had a continuous problem of the machine during the execution of a particular activity in a project, whether it will be okay for you? No, it will not be pleasant. It will not be okay. If something is happened at a frequent time, says for example the machine is not properly running for a particular time, then automatically it will leads to delay in the project delivery to the client, and at the same time this will leads to this will leads to wastage of humans involved in that particular operation, human manpower in that particular operation. That also has to be avoided. At the same time, during the repair work, sometimes accidents may also happen. And for that, we have to provide the compensation for the labors. And this leads to additional charge for the construction companies. That should also be avoided. If you're not following any safety protocols during the machine operation, then a huge noise will be created, which will affect the surrounding ecosystem, and this will also be creates a lot of problem with the neighbors. So this has to be also be avoided. Then comes the daily construction equipment maintenance. So this is further classified into three stages. That is, before using an operation, before using the machine for any particular object for a particular project, it has to be checked. And during its operation, the machine has to be checked. And after the operation, the machine has to be checked. First, before using any equipment for any operation, the machine has to be checked for its internal and external damages. Internal and external damage means that we have to check the ducts used ducts inside the machine. In most of the machines, hydraulic machines, fluids are used for doing the operation or doing the operations. So if there is any damages in that particular tube, then immediately it has to be rectified so that the work will not be delayed. Then we have to check the availability of fluids level inside the machine as well as battery life and so on. Then while using the machine, during running, we have to observe any different noises coming from the equipment or not. If something is some noise is coming from the machine, then immediately we have to stop the machine and track where the sound is coming from. Then immediately the problem has to be rectified by calling a suitable personnel from the industry so that our work will not be stopped. And after using the machine, we have to store the machine in safe area where the machine is protected from the external environment. So regular cleaning is also be required. Why? Because our construction industry is found to be one of the highly dust generation industry. And in some cases, this dust will enter into the openings of the machines and tends to clog the fluid pipes and tends to create problem. So routine cleaning is also required. Then next thing is when to retire and replace equipments. Retirement and replacement of machineries or else machine parts is common in all fields, especially in the civil field. The machine will be employed for continuous cycles of work, because of which the performance of the particular machine will be lower. In that time, we have to go for an alternate thing, and we have different factors in which we have to be considered before discarding any machine. Namely age and usage, repair cost, then technological advances, then project need and safety complaints. Actually, this age and usage is different parameters, but if you are using the machine developed in the year 1920 or 19 and even before that, then you are outdated. And at the same time, the performance of the machine is quite lower in compared to the machine developed in recent years. This is because recent machines have well advanced technology so that work will be done in a fraction of minutes or time. And at the same time, if there is any problem associated with that machine, age-old machines, the spare parts will also be not easily available. And that too, it's costly. Then it leads to a lot of pressure during the work. Then comes the usage of machines. Usage of machine is also quite important. Says, for example, if the manufacturer is says that the machine has the capacity to run 1,000 hours, then we should not go beyond that. If unfortunately you are using the machine for another 500 hours, then the profit of the project will be increased, but at the same time, this will not work out for a long run. And sudden failure may also be happen, which leads to delay in the construction time. And additionally, it will create extra cost, which will be higher than the cost of new machineries also. So proper decision has to be made at the proper time for proper running of the projects. Okay, thank you.